Hi, guys. Welcome to Weekly Travel Updates. I am Melinda Fargis, and I'm the proud owner of Action Travel. We just celebrated 35 years this summer, and it was a beautiful day today, so I enjoyed some of the sunshine. It's going to get down into the 70s for the rest of the week, and our kids just started school. So I I guess it takes all kinds of weather to satisfy people. But today is the 25th of August. We are 4 months from Christmas. And I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of clients to call me to say, where can I take my kids? We need to do something experiential instead of just more stuff. So there's a New York package. There is a San Antonio package. There is a package for South Beach that is okay for families. So I would love to share all kinds of deals available for you that are here for the holidays. Well, lots going on this week. Irwin has gone off and he is beyond North Carolina. However, he was one of the biggest storms in the Atlantic, over 500 miles. Some reports say over 600 miles. And he is among the largest 10% of all hurricanes that we've experienced. Let me show you quickly what. Whoops, hang on one second. All right, let me show you this. Now, this is in North Carolina. They built up sand walls, but nothing can stop that amount of water. And as Aaron continued up the coast, it did massive amounts of damage to New Jersey and further north. Okay. I hope that you got to see that. Well, here we are, and it is August. Well, one of our most popular sayings is at Action Travel after 35 years is we deliver the world to you. And I'm going to give you some secrets for cruise tips to save you money. Secrets for the best service on cruise ships. And I want you to note my email address down here because we are going to schedule a sandals webinar put on by our new sandals rep for North and South Carolina. His name's Andrew. And you have to send me an email to pre-register in order to get the perks. No obligation to purchase, but should we offer something that you really want to take advantage of, then you have to be pre-registered to be offered the perks after the webinar is over. Anyway, I would love to have you attend, and please reach out to me. Well, today we're going to talk about some of the other weather that has taken place. Irwin has caused rip currents and all kinds of havoc up the Atlantic coast, but now we are going for something else. Ferdinand is the next storm, and it's a developing storm. It has already come north of San Juan, and we're going to be watching for surf and rip currents all around Bermuda. it looks like it will go east of Bermuda. Not very far east, but still east of Bermuda. Just gale force winds. It's up to 40 knots right now. It's not much of a storm, and it's not a hurricane yet. It is still a tropical storm, but we'll be watching it for sure. Then, I don't know if you have seen the Burning Man show out in the desert outside of Las Vegas, but this weekend was when it started. And this weekend, they had a dust storm with over 50-mile-per-hour sand blasting everything in the desert. There was at the Burning Man Festival, there's all of these art creations. Some of them can be 50 feet tall, and it's just a community. You just go set up camp. It's supposed to help you find your inner person. But at any rate, what I'm sharing is the dust storm has torn it up. Yesterday afternoon, the officials in Las Vegas were saying, don't come. It's not worth it. There are tents strode for miles. So leave that up to you. But one day I do think that would be a cool festival to attend. And then, as Erin has gone through the Atlantic, now it is stationary west of Scotland, and they are having record-breaking heat wave. 41 years. It's been 41 years since they had heat this, or had temperatures this warm. So I just thought that was really something. All across the UK, they're seeing this warming trend, and here we are in August. So I hope that they make it out and everything is cool. Well, I'm going to tell you about the next story, and Carnival's going to hate it because there was another brawl on board. And this time it was at an eatery, and you won't even guess over what. There's a guy, and I will drop it in the comments. I have to find his name, who posted it. Or you could Google, you could Google chicken finger fight on Carnival, because they were chicken tenders that they were fighting over, and they started throwing them. And needless to say, a number of YouTubers and TikTokers have blasted it all over. I'm sure that Carnival doesn't want to see it, but it was a group of about 12 to 14 African American. It looked like families that were all trying to be served at once, and it just didn't work out the way they anticipated. Well, I wanted to put down here again, the State Department advises Americans to exercise increased caution globally and to check its specific country advisories as alerts go out when you're planning your travel. Mount Etna is erupting right now. I know that you have heard of all of the earthquakes along the Ring of Fire. 2 more occurred this past week, not near us, but off the coast of Russia. And then in Asia, another 7.2. So be aware of these things happening, and know that if you're part of traveling, because this is like the biggest travel weekend that we have left, travel insurance is super important. So important now that if I sell you a trip, I want you to take the travel insurance or sign a waiver saying that you understand that all of my out-of-pocket expenses could be lost if there were unforeseen medical issues, family issues, and travel insurance is just the way to overcome that. Okay, guys, well, let's go to show you my pride and joy. My little Grayson is 10 months old. Look at this kid. Isn't he cute? He is just the most precious thing in the world. I want you to know that I have dropped links to each of these weather stories in the comment section. And I really, really want you to know that I want you to refriend me on Facebook. My Facebook account was hacked, and they have been putting vehicles on there, trucks and cars, and a whole laundry list of things. I have gotten texts and calls from numerous people. I mean, sometimes more than 15 a day. Um, and I have to tell them, hey, my account's been hacked, but please go refriend me as the new Melinda Fargis. That's what I put. New Melinda Fargis. I really value your friendship. I think that it's a fabulous way for us to stay connected. And as time goes on, I think that friendships and circles of friendships will matter more than ever. So please go refriend me as the new Melinda Fargis and come check us out next week. I hope I have lots more exciting news to tell you about. I want to give you some things before we leave, tips of how to save on your next cruise. I get questions all the time. How can I cut this down? Well, what many cruise lines don't want to tell you is that on the first day of your trip, this cabin steward has got like from 10, 12 to up to 15 cabins to take care of. And if you slip this guy a $20 bill on day one and tell him that you like to have your ice bucket full, you will stand out in his mind. He will remember the person who gave him upfront tip money. I have one customer who gives $40 up front and says, I just want you to know I value service, I appreciate service, and I want to share this with you and tell you I look forward to our cruise together this week. It's been quite successful. What cruise lines don't tell you is 40, 50 passengers are way better on a ship excursion that has 8, 10, 12 passengers versus 40 to 50 passengers. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, think of the experience. But when you do excursions through the cruise line, you're paying 300 to 400% higher than what those excursions truly are. Now, when I set up my groups, I book with some of the same excursion companies that serve Royal Caribbean or Carnival Cruise Line. It can be the same buses, but my bus is only for my group, and it's usually a much smaller bus, like a 22 passenger, versus getting off of the cruise ship and getting on a massive bus who can't go all the places that a smaller vehicle can go. But more than that is the level of service that you get traveling with a small group versus a bus full. Tommy Coble, many of you might know him from, he was a finance manager at Stearns Ford, or County Ford, for years. And he said, you can always use this example. We booked them a private store excursion for 8 of them. It happened to be that when the little van came to pick them up, it was only going to be the 8 of them on this tour. And it was a private tour. It was cave cruising. And he said, we got outside, got on our bus, got on the beach. Our driver handed us our inner tubes and said, wait by the shore and I'll pull you out. And he did. While they were pulling, they had gotten already over the breakers, and the driver, who was also the tour guide, was pulling them towards the caves. And the bus pulls up with 47 people in it. They get off. They're all handed a inner tube. But the difference was they had to make their way to the cave by themselves. And he said it was hilarious to watch these people trying to get out over the waves by themselves in an inner tube. And our trip was so smooth. We just got in our inner tube and he pulled us all the way there. Plus the fact that they blew a horn and they had to leave the beach about 45 minutes earlier than Tommy's group had to, because they had 47 people with equipment to load and get from point A to point B. Anyway, the point is, if you see something that you like that the cruise line offers, and if you're traveling by yourself, I have a single lady who's leaving in 5 days, and she is going to do one cruise line excursion. But the other two ports in in St. Thomas and St. Martin, we're doing it through shore excursions. I would love to send you a quote. Shoot me an email. Right here's my email, mcf4action@gmail.com. Tell me what ship you're on. I'll just shoot you a list of the excursions that are available for your sailing. It ought to be something you compare. Okay, then skip the specialty dining, folks. I'm going to tell you, unless you've got free specialty dining, I do not pay an additional $30 to $50 a person to go to a specialty dinner. I do go if I'm invited, and I've been invited by several of my group in past years. But honestly, there is always a good choice in the dining room. And I've never felt like I missed out. Actually, on our cruise on Celebrity last January, every meal we had in the evening in the dining room, we felt like was exquisite. Some nights it was as good as many specialty restaurants that I have been to. Okay, the drink package. Here's one place where you can save some money. The drink package math comes down to you pay approximately $65 a day for a drink package times 7 days. Now you're at $455. And you times that by 2, because if you're in the same cabin, you both have to take that. So now we're at $900. And if you ordered 6 to 8 drinks per person per day for each of the 7 days, you would barely break even. There are so many ways that you can cut costs. One of which is most cruise lines allow you to bring a bottle of wine, your favorite wine, champagne, on board, and you can take it to your room. You can open it there. If you do bring it to the dining room, they usually charge a corkage fee. Most of the time, $10 or $12 for them to open it and serve it to you there. But also, most cruise lines still allow you to bring sodas on board. They have to be canned sodas. That has proven to be the most tamper resistant. But, 12 canned sodas. And when you're in port in San Juan, just pick up another 12. It really can save you a ton of money. Then, take time to find the free soda and tea and drink offers that they have both in the spa and at the buffet. Even if the buffet food's not open, the drink section is always working. So feel free to go there. And now, a little known fact that most cruise lines don't share is that there are water refill stations. It is pure drinking water. Many say that it would be purer than you would get most city waters in North America. But they're free to fill your disposable water cup. I take something like a Yeti with me, it has a handle on it. And boy, last January on those warm days in the Caribbean, I sure was glad that I had my own beverage along with me rather than paying $5.60 for a Coke in Aruba or nearly $7 for a 7-Up in Curacao. So anyway, these are ways that you can save some money. Formal night, you guys, I just had clients come back and they rented formal wear while they were on the ship. Well, number one, to rent a tux for $48 was crazy because you can go to Men's Warehouse. We have one here in Alamance County. You can buy a tux for about $60 and then you own it. And then you can take it every cruise you go on or any important occasion. I just thought that was crazy. And renting cocktail dresses for $40 for the evening, man, no go for me. You can get by now. We have evolved. The days of the black tie affairs, short of some of the deluxe cruise lines, those are really gone. You will see people dressed to the nines, but not all of them, not even most of them. So just FYI for you. And one more, I just had a customer come back from a cruise and they had my time dining and really hated it because he said that the line at my time dining was always very long, always. And one of the ways around that, and I mentioned this to him, is to go to the grill area on the back of the ship. There's lots of other places other than the buffet as an alternative. But some nights they did wait 20, 30, 40 minutes to be seated. There's eateries all over the ship. If you're on Royal Caribbean, there are smart eateries where they serve tapas, salads, wraps, things like that. Look and actually look at your ship, research it if you don't have a good travel agent who's going to tell you all about it, but know what you have or what's available to you before you travel. It can really save you a ton of time. And I would say that it would be money as well. Some other things that are going on, the Disney Magic is going to put 2 ships into San Diego next year for 26 and 27. And I'm going to tell you, I think that's going to be quite popular because San Diego is a great family destination. I was about 11 when I went to visit my dad in California. We drove down to San Diego and went to one of the nation's best zoos, the San Diego Zoo. They have a safari that you drive over in a Jeep. I mean, they're just all kinds of continents that they have there with animals to go with it. And then there's a SeaWorld, and there's always Coronado Bay, and you're only about 2 hours south of Los Angeles. So I just think that this is a great opportunity. And if you need some things to do, having grown up out there, I would love to share them with you. Well, Port Canaveral is going to get a parking increase. It's not as high as Miami. There are from $25 to $35 per day parking at the Port of Miami. Port Canaveral's not had an increase since 2017, and they're going from $17 to $20. And I just thought I would share that with you. Cruise stocks have increased. Carnival is up 7%. Carnival Cruise Line is at $31.36. Royal Caribbean was up 6% at $344.67. Norwegian was up 2%. They're getting close, $25.05 per share. And Viking also increased by 3.7%. They're now at $60.50 per share. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this. I went a little bit long. I will hone it down. And the biggest thing is please go refriend me on Facebook. Somebody hacked my account, listed a bunch of stuff for sale. It's not for sale, it's a scam. So I listed myself as the new Melinda Fargis. Please go check us out. Thank you. And where I'd really love your support is I'd love for you to become a follower on our YouTube channel. It's Weekly Travel Updates 2866. And if you follow us there, we're a small but growing travel community, and they're always the first ones that know what's going on in our groups and in our little world of action travel. But until next Monday night, I hope you have a fabulous week. Enjoy the cooler weather. And if you're going back to school this week, have a great first week of school. Smile, be friendly to other people. That's the way you make friends. All right. Ciao, guys. Have a great week. And remember, without a travel agent, you're on your own. Have a great week.